Hi, this is Kevin, and I thought I would put up an army I just finished. Maybe not all of it, but let's say 50% of it I just finished painting. And it's the Ottoman Army of the Long Turkish War, which is really its wars against not only the Habsburg, but the Poles, the Russians, and during this period of them actually being forced out of the Balkans. It somewhat started before the Siege of Vienna and ended up with various treaties and pushing the Ottomans back into decline. But I still think, the Ottoman army that during that time was, although in decline with its quality of troops and really its failure to adopt, I would say, military technologies of the day, they were still large. They still used very traditional tactics, artillery, light troops, but they really struggled against the Habsburg forces, especially under Prince Eugene of Savoy, which will be the next army that I put up. But it really was declining in terms of discipline and modern fire-based tactics. But this army that I painted is really bringing in the musketry of the day. There's a couple of units here that you just saw that have bayonets that didn't come in until the mid to late 1700s. But I really wanted this force to represent the Ottomans all the way through the War of the Spanish Succession, etc., and going up almost to the Napoleonic Wars. But it's a very, very interesting army still, very colorful. I added a lot of units, but it still has this core of janissaries, the Sifais, still not as disciplined as they once were, but they're heavy cavalry, they're light cavalry, and masses and masses of troops to really take the brunt. Their artillery, they still formed up very similar with a strong artillery and wagon fortress center. Janissaries behind them, cavalry on the wings, still, I think, pretty reliant on traditional tactics of before. But I really enjoyed painting it. Most of the figures here are from, well, let's say Old Glory. They're from Khorasan. They blended in extremely well. There's a few Essex in here. And yeah, it's a bit different than the army that I put up before of the 1400s. Please forgive me. My cinematography is not the best, but I think you kind of get the idea. I think the key points about this is that they if you look at a lot of the manuscripts, you're going to find a lot of red, a lot of green. That's just seemed to be a really popular color. What you're seeing here is the Sifais, the heavy cavalry, the land cavalry, the Sultan's heavy bodyguard cavalry there in the back, and they didn't really change much in their uniform. They still brought to the field what their ancestors did. Maybe some changes and maybe pistols or firearms, but they really relied on traditional tactics, which really made them struggle, right? But they really had at this time also a weakness in leadership. Eugene really brought them to their knees with his tactical brilliance. And with a couple of the defeats that they suffered at his hands, like at Zenta and Belgrade, they really had a hard time kind of getting back up on their feet. These figures that you see here from Old Glory, most of these, it's the I guess you just call it the just regular troops from the land. I tried to paint up as many as I could. The cavalry, these are from Khorasan, very colorful firearms, weapons, pistols. I tried to add a little bit more of that flavor into the army, and still pulling from all of their different territories from the east, from Moldavia, Transylvania, provinces of Hungary, and then deep into Asia Minor. I had a lot of fun building the artillery, did artillery rams with fortifications or quick fortifications combined with their Wagenburg between those artillery emplacements. The figures from Old Glory that you find in here were just really easy and a lot of fun to paint. The guys in the wagons, those are from Essex, and those light skirmishers are from Curacao. They all blend in great together, I think. These are Janissaries from Essex. These are Janissaries from Old Glory. Those are figures from Essex, the Sultan himself, which I think still work very well. Oh, actually, those aren't from Essex. Those are from the old company in Italy that went out of business. And then there's Essex Janissaries. I find that their sizes and proportions all fit extremely well together. And if painted, based, and organized, I think the army kind of turns out great. I love it. Beautiful flags. It's a nice army. Hope you enjoyed it.